An emergency response at a Central Ohio prison. More than 24 people hospitalized after possible exposure to drugs. Thank you for joining us tonight at 5. I'm Colleen Marshall.
I'm Mark Taylor. Right now, we still don't know exactly what drug it was or how it got inside the prison. We do know what happened this morning at the Ross Correctional Institution on State Route 104 in Chillicothe. Chopper 4 flying above that facility right now. We know that facility houses about 2,000 inmates. It is a medium security prison for men with nearly 500 staff members.
And tonight, NBC4 has team coverage for you. Tyler Carter has more details tonight on the people who were taken to the hospital and how they're doing.
But first, we do want to send it to NBC4's Ted Hart, who has new details on exactly what happened inside that prison today. Ted?
Well, Mark, this was a mass casualty situation. The call went out shortly after 9 o'clock this morning that there were multiple people down, showing signs. Investigators say it occurred inside one of the cell blocks. In addition to those immediately affected, there was concern for those responding as well. Chris Mabe is president of the union that represents corrections officers.
As correctional officers, we have to go in and shake down cells and pat down inmates, and that could have been some of the exposure. We're not really quite sure.
Mabe says it's not clear yet how so many people were affected, but 27 staff members and 1 inmate were taken to the hospital showing symptoms of an overdose from what is suspected to be fentanyl.
I was scared.
Hannah Riley was inside the prison at the time. She was there to visit her fiance.
I don't feel safe for him being here because, you know, what if that happened again? And if it happened to him, like, that's just scary to me.
The remaining 30 inmates in the cell block that was affected were relocated, and the investigation continues into identifying the substance, how it spread to so many people, and how it got into the prison. Kevin Fennell was on his way to work as an addiction counselor in the prison when he heard the news.
I'm a little devastated, to be honest. You know, I guess you don't expect something like this to happen in a prison system because we pride ourselves on being on top of, you know, what comes in, what goes out of the prison.
And a hazmat unit was brought in to clean the affected cell block, and samples of the substance involved were collected so that they could be positively identified. Local for you and live in Chillicothe, Ted Hart, NBC4.
Thanks so much, Ted. And dozens of people, as Ted said, were treated at the scene. Some found unconscious, not breathing. We did confirm at the scene that 28 people were treated with the anti-overdose drug Narcan. In addition to that, 24 were taken to Adena Regional Medical Center, 1 inmate, and 23 prison staff members. NBC4's Tyler Carter continues our team coverage now. She's at Adena Hospital with the very latest.
The rapid response of the staff there at the correctional institution, first responders, and then the ER being ready for what they were getting ready to receive at this volume all at once, probably saved a life or 2 today.
Dr. KIRK Tucker was the lead physician in charge Wednesday as nearly 24 people from the Ross County Correctional Facility were examined after experiencing opiate overdose-like symptoms.
We had 1 gentleman deteriorate to the point of unresponsiveness and not breathing, and that was the one that was admitted.
1 inmate and 23 correctional workers, some guards and nurses, arrived feeling nauseous, lightheaded, and some had numbness in parts of their body. The emergency room went on lockdown, the hospital placed under a code yellow, and a decontamination center staged outside. Doctors, nurses, and hospital personnel that came in contact with patients all had to be hosed down through a 3-part decontamination stage. Medical staff say Narcan was aggressively used today, saving many lives.
Narcan was the core of what we did today, and securing adequate supplies of that was really the other aspect of this morning's emergency.
And the Ohio Department, the Health Department, came in and distributed 600 tubes of Narcan to the hospital just in case they had to be used. 22 of those 24 people that were taken to the hospital, they have been released. It was 1 inmate that was unconscious. He is admitted. He is supposed to be in a stable condition but will be observed tonight, and 1 other is under observation but should be released pretty soon. The hospital, as far as their ER, is back open to their normal state. Local for you in Chillicothe, Tyler Carter, NBC4.
Thank you, Tyler.